what is this? Oh yeah, this is the ribs. Actually, no, this is not the rib. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Today is Monday, February 17th, and let's get ready for school. The bed is all nice and made. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Today is Monday, February 17th, and today we have a quiz this morning. Every Monday we have a quiz, and these are called ICM quizzes. So we basically have these every week, and they're worth very, very little. Each quiz is worth 0.5% for up to 4.5% of our total grade. So it basically adds up the more that you take it, but these are worth very little, and honestly, I find them kind of annoying. So for our quizzes, we have to wear a scrub. So I am in this huge scrub. This is by Fabletics. I bought the biggest size because I wasn't sure how it's gonna fit. This is a medium, and I kind of regret it. I feel like I should have gotten a small because it feels a little bit huge on me. And of course, I'm wearing gray because everything's gonna match with gray. But for our quizzes and exams, we always have to wear scrubs. And what's kind of weird about these quizzes is, so for our quizzes, we have them every single week, as I said before, and they're basically based on one topic. So these are technically ICM quizzes, which ICM stands for Introduction to Clinical Medicine. And we don't have ICM this semester. Like, we don't have ICM at all. We only have our sim labs, which I had last week. And we basically have to like run through scenarios and stuff, like a patient and like a whole simulation. But these ICM quizzes are solely based on one clinical aspect of medicine. Basically today, which I'm gonna show you guys, after our quiz, we have this thing called clinical medicine. And it's basically an hour-and-a-half class where they run through a single topic in clinical medicine. And that's what our quizzes are based on. So our quiz today is based on chronic kidney disease. And we basically had that class last Monday. I know it's kind of weird when you think about it, it's kind of confusing. So basically last Monday after our quiz last week, we had a class meeting about chronic kidney disease. They went through like what are the signs and symptoms, what was the patient presenting with, and we talked about what labs we would run, treatment, and all that kind of stuff, and basically what to look out for. And they also showed us like pictures and everything, basically like the whole 9 yards. And then the week following, which is today, we have our quiz on it. And the quizzes, they're only 10 questions, but they take out so much time out of our day, which is why I don't really like them. Kind of cuts into my study schedule because I have an entire schedule where I base my studying off of like what resources to use, what topic am I going through today, and that kind of takes me back a little bit. And then I have to make the whole trip to class and everything, but you know, it is what it is. The whole basis behind these quizzes and exams is basically to have ourselves tested every single week to give us the motivation to study. But for me, I already have the motivation to study anyways. I know like a lot of the other Caribbean med schools, like for their MED5, they either have like classes and then studying for like shells and stuff, or some of the other med schools, like they don't have classes at all for MED5, and it's solely their studying and like prep course and everything. Or not even a MED5, like after they finish MED5, then they have their dedicated study period and then they go off to take it. But it kind of varies between school. But for our school, we have our 9 quizzes every single week, and then next week Wednesday we have our first CAS exam. And this CAS exam is going to be all NBME based questions. So NBME stands for the National Boards of Medical Examiners, and these are basically standardized questions, which are a lot more harder than our professor written questions, which are supposed to be NBME based questions. But yeah, this is going to be a lot more tricky and harder, and the first exam is worth 20% of our final grade, and a lot of students don't really do well on the first exam, so that's why I'm kind of like stressed to get all my studying done and everything. So I thought I would vlog today to show you guys the life of what our classes sort of look like for MED5. And then afterwards, after our quiz and our clinical medicine class meeting, we have class afterwards until 12:30. It is 7 o'clock. Our quizzes, they don't start at 9, they start at 8 o'clock. So I have to go ahead, hurry up, take my vitamins, have a little bit of breakfast, and then we're gonna make our way to class. So every morning I always have to take my vitamins. So I like to go and take 1 Centrium, 1 calcium, my iron supplements, and this isn't the supplement that I used last semester. This is an over-the-counter one because for some reason I had to pay for my iron supplements that my doctor prescribed and it wasn't covered by insurance. So I'm like, okay, $5.99 for this, let's go ahead and do it. Doesn't work. And technically this is supposed to be the exact same ingredients as my prescription ones, but these don't work as well as the other ones did last semester. I'm like, why? So I don't know if they have like different levels of the ingredients in there or what, but yeah, I feel a lot more tired and my energy energy is definitely drained, so I am not getting this again next semester. And plus, what I noticed with these are the capsules are a lot more smaller than the ones that I had last semester. So I'm assuming that the ingredients are probably like half the measurement of the ones that I used last semester, which is probably why these don't work as effectively as the other ones do on me. Next, I'm taking some biotin because this eyelid makes my hair fall out so much. And now my acne meds. Also guys, I bought these flowers for myself for Valentine's Day. I actually bought them on February 13th last week and they still look so beautiful. I am surprised they lasted this long, but these are gorgeous and I didn't realize how much fresh flowers actually brightened up my day. Like I actually love this. Like I think I've actually become a flower person and I need fresh flowers every single week, but I don't know where to get fresh flowers here on the island, and that bouquet was expensive. I paid $150 for that bouquet, which is about like $75 Canadian. So it was pretty expensive, but I have to say it was pretty worth it to show myself some love for Valentine's Day since I'm still single. Now the rest of my breakfast is gonna be 2 bananas. It's a sunny morning today, thankfully, because this past week it has been raining like crazy. So I'm kind of glad that the sun is rising. It's nice and cool. Thankfully, it's not more because it's not summer yet. And yeah, we are ready for the day. I have my coffee and we are ready to nail this quiz. We made it to campus. Now let's go on and head to the library. Okay, it's time to go take my quiz now. So we finished our quiz. It was so weird because I have so much tea about the classroom that we went to. Now it's time to go to class. Morning! So now we're in class for the weekly clinical encounter. This is gonna go on until 10:30. Thankfully I have my coffee because that quiz was not it. I did not like that quiz. The weekly clinical encounter is over. Now it's time to head over to the admin's office to drop off my immigration forms. So we basically have all my documents I need to get to immigration, and hopefully this is like the last time I have to do this immigration. Okay, so we got all of that taken care of. I am on my way home heading to the gym. We finished our weekly clinical. I went to give my immigration forms. So basically when you come to Antigua, you need a visa to study and you have to give in all your documents so the admin can do it for you, but you have to go to the immigration place to have your passport stamped yourself. So basically to do that, there's like a ton of forms you have to print out, and then the lineup to go to the immigration place takes forever. And I absolutely did not want to do the immigration thing all over again, but I just have to because my visa ends on the 12th. And and I don't know how the comp is gonna go because the comp is on the 2nd. So I'm just doing the immigration stuff just to be on the safe side. Also, like, I'm gonna be paying rent for like the first few days of May anyway, so I might as well just stay the entire month. And plus, there's no distractions here, so I might as well just go study and review while I have that month's rent like paid for. So yeah, I just decided to do the immigration process all over again. I know like a lot of the students, they said they weren't gonna do it, but I just want to do it just to be safe, because if you don't have a visa and you're staying here, you will get fined or you will be sent back home, and I'm not trying to pay any more fees. So I'm just gonna do my due diligence and do everything that I need to for the immigration, even if that means waiting hours and hours to get my passport stamped at the immigration center. But at least all my forms are done, and that's on AUA's side. I just had to get all of that done. So our CAS exam is next week Wednesday, and then the week after that, the Monday, we have another quiz, and that's gonna be on endo. We basically did a weekly clinical encounter based on a case of like thyroiditis and hyper and hypothyroidism. Sorry, that was the Bluetooth because this car is Japanese made. So now that is done, we have class up until 12:30, and they're basically just gonna be going over UWorld questions. But the thing is, we don't get the ID, like the UWorld question ID of the questions that they're doing, and we don't even get the explanations that is given to us by UWorld. It's basically explained to us by the professor. So I did go to class for the first 2 to 3 weeks, but now I just felt like I just wasn't getting anything, and I need to do the questions on my own and read the explanations on my own from UWorld to actually fully understand what was going on. So I just don't go to class anymore. I just go to the weekly clinical encounter because it's right after the quiz and I'm here anyways. It's not mandatory attendance anymore. I know the first 2 weeks was mandatory attendance, and I went for the week after that, and then afterwards I just stopped going because I felt like I was getting a lot more studying done at home. And plus, I was able to actually go to the gym in the mornings now too. So basically for the rest of the week, I'll be going to the gym in the morning and then just studying for the rest of the evening. So today, since it's a Monday, we had the quiz, I'm going to the gym after the quiz, and then we are going to be studying. So this semester is pretty crazy with all these quizzes and exams. And the craziest part is for our 2 CAS exams, we're not even getting tested on CBS, which is crazy. So I have to find time in between my studying to go over that for the comp exam, because I feel like the only thing I need to worry about right now is the comp. But I also have to worry about passing MED5 as well, which is kind of unfortunate, but you know, you still have to pass everything either way to make it 2 rotations. So we have to pass MED5, pass the comp, then we can move on to taking the steps. So it's a lot to process, and it's just basically going to be taking a lot of scheduling and planning and sticking to my schedule. So we got the quiz done, we got our weekly clinical encounter done, we handed our immigration form, and I was also speaking to the director of financial aid because she has to sign off on my OSAP form to get OSAP funding, which is not much if you're studying abroad and you're Canadian. Unfortunately, like, they don't give much money if you are studying abroad. However, if you are studying within Canada, they'll give you a lot of money, because I know OSAP basically covered half of my tuition for undergrad at U of T with grants. They just aren't as generous when it comes to studying abroad. They don't give grants if you're studying abroad either way. So it's basically just all loans. So there was like a mishap with my form. They filled it out wrong. So I had to go and talk to her to make sure that my form was filled out right. And I spoke to her. She said she'll get it done today. So fingers crossed. Now let us go home and head to the gym. Also, this is another thing that I also forgot to mention. One of the things that I absolutely hated was the quiz taking. We are separated into classrooms. So basically in the morning, we get an email saying which classroom we're going to be taking the quiz in, because everyone in MED5, they're basically split up into different classrooms. So you basically have classroom 5, which is like the big classroom that we had our clinical encounters and our lectures in. And then we're separated into these little small rooms like classroom 1, 2, 3, and 4. So they're smaller classrooms that we're able to take our quizzes in. Whenever you're in classroom 5, I was in classroom 5 for the first 2 quizzes. They didn't check us. Like, we were allowed to bring our backpacks, like people wore jewelry, because when we have our exams, you're not allowed to wear jewelry unless it's religious. So unless it's religious, you just can't wear it. People literally had their phones on them and everything. Like, they had to put everything away, but they could bring their bags into classroom 5. And I was in there, but I never brought any of my stuff. And then today I was put into classroom 3. When you go into classroom 3, there's like a checkpoint for classrooms 1 to 4, because 1 to 4, they're basically separated on another side of the building, and classroom 5 is on another side. So classrooms 1 to 4, they're smaller classrooms than classroom 5. To go to classrooms 1 to 4, you have to go through a separate check-in, and with this check-in, you have to check in your bags, you have to make sure you're not wearing jewelry and everything. Like, it's a whole process, like an exam. So when I went to classroom 3, like, I wore my jewelry today because I noticed they weren't checking it. So I'm like, okay, might as well wear it. They were like, why are you wearing it? Like, you can't wear it. And I'm like, huh? This is ridiculous. How half of the people who are taking the quiz can bring whatever they want with them and not be checked, and half the people who are in classrooms 1 to 4, they have to get checked. So I was like, what is this nonsense? nonsense. Like, if you're gonna do this, make it even. So that was like one thing that I just didn't appreciate, because I'm like, this is crazy. Like, half the people can just walk in with their backpacks and no one says anything, and then half the people are going into classroom 3, like, they have to get everything checked and they can't wear jewelry or anything and have their phones on them and stuff, which is what you're supposed to do for the quiz. But the people in classroom 5 didn't have to do that. So I'm like, this does not make sense. So that was kind of the one thing that frustrated me, because if you're gonna do it for one portion of the class, you have to do it for all of them. You have to stay consistent when you're doing this kind of stuff. So this is why I'm just trying to work hard, study, just to make sure that we get this semester going, because we are not tolerating any of this nonsense. I don't need the pre-work. Cheers. Okay, so we are here at the gym. Are done our workout. Time to make my protein shake. It is 2:30. I am showered, skincare is done, and I changed into my glasses. Honestly, I love wearing my contacts, but on the island, it just makes it a little bit more harder, just because, I don't know, my eyes continuously burn while I'm here. Made breakfast. I am so hungry because literally all I had for breakfast was 2 bananas and coffee. So we have some mixed berries, raspberries and blackberries, orange juice, turkey links, and a breakfast sandwich, which all the cheese melted off of the tissue paper. So I'm gonna eat this and I'm gonna watch Grey's Anatomy, because I actually started rewatching Grey's Anatomy. Not rewatching, continuing to watch, because I ended around the COVID season. However, I did forget some things from the COVID season and I don't want to watch that entire season all over again. So we're jumping to season 18, because I know they're now on season 21. So I have 4 seasons to catch up on. And then I also have an episode of Chicago Med to catch up on as well. And then after I'm done that, I'll probably start another show or rewatch Grey's Anatomy from season 1. So it is a little after 4. I finished eating my breakfast, watched an episode of Grey's, and I also made myself another cup of coffee. I usually don't drink 2 cups of coffee in a day, but since my last cup of coffee was like at 8-9 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, I think I need another one to get through all this studying, because today we actually have a lot packed in. So first, I kind of changed things a little bit. I made a little checklist of things I need to do every day. So first, I need to write an entry into my journal, the 5-minute journal. I absolutely love this stuff. I haven't written in this the entire year, so I really want to start writing in it again and making it a habit, because I was supposed to do it January 1st, but I never got to, and it's kind of been hidden on my shelf. And you know, when things are hidden, you never reach for them. So I made this more accessible, like I put it right next to my planner. And then afterwards, we say our prayers and gratitudes for the day. I already did that this morning before my quiz. And then we are gonna do 100 cards of Anki. So far, we did 45 cards. I'm gonna do some more cards until I reach up to 100. I want to get a consistent amount of things done each and every day in order to ensure that I covered everything I need to know in order to take the comp. Also, we are going to study for 6 hours at least. I always try to aim for 6. So since it's already 4, we have about, I would say, 3 hours until dinner. I'll probably have dinner at 7 today. And then afterwards, we're going to do 3 more hours of questions afterwards. Then we are going to do about 40 practice questions. And then we are going to finish our journal entry for the day. So today we're going to be covering the rest of our renal physiology and covering some of the drugs. And I've also gotten these really cool flashcards. I have this right over here. So this basically has everything I need to know for anatomy, and it has all the answers at the back, and it comes with a cool ring. So this is the Netter's Anatomy flashcard. I use this because we definitely need to know a lot of our anatomy again, and I feel like I forgot a lot of the anatomy, so this has to be a refresher. So I kept this right here, so that way when I have some lead time, I can just like review it and quickly refresh, like, what is this? Oh yeah, this is the ribs. Actually, no, this is not the ribs. What is number 1? Costal cartilages. See, I need to review. This is what it looks like. I basically just got this off of Amazon. I will link it down below in my Amazon storefront if you guys want to check it out. But it basically has, I need to stop saying the word basically. This set has every system that you need. It has the back and spinal cord, the thorax, and they're all separated with like these little cards. They all have hole punches in it, so you can just pop them onto the little ring, whichever system you're studying, and you're good to go on the go. Like, it's amazing, and I'm trying to put these to good use now because I've had these for the past year and I brought them over this semester, so we are going to be using this to study. And then I ended up buying these flashcards. I'm not sure if I showed you guys this in my previous vlogs, but I ended up ordering this when I first got to the island, and these are the MEDSCHOOLBRO farm flashcards. So I've always preached that one of my weakest links is farm, and literally my TAs know this. Like, I always preach like I hate farm, and the thing is like we need to know farm as physicians, and he always picks me for the farm questions. So like, Nisha, I know you hate farm, but we got to get you down. So I got this flashcard set, and it has every single system that you need. It has cardio, neuro, you name it, and it comes like this, and it's always like separated by like these flashcards, and the flashcards look like this. So it basically has, what is it? Penicillin, what is mechanism of action, drug name, side effects, and then on the back, you basically have all the answers right there for you. So I have these on my desk so that way I'm able to cover some farm, because I find that flashcards really help me to memorize and understand and try to remember every little thing, especially with farm. It's basically all memorization. With the amount of cards in this deck, that's a lot of farm that we need to know, that I need to memorize within 2.5 months until my exam. I need all the help that I can get. So we have a lot to cover. Basically today, I'm just going to be doing boards, and I'm going to be doing some RX and UWorld questions. At the end of the day, the way I like to schedule my day off, I always use Notion to schedule my day. So for studying review, we are going to be doing about 20 RX questions and 20 UWorld questions. I want to say I kind of want to lean more towards 30 RX questions because I really want to get through all of the RX question banks and do UWorld simultaneously, because I know RX is pretty easy, but I need to make sure I understand the material first before moving on to UWorld, because UWorld is a lot more harder. So I'm trying to get both of these done at the same time. That makes sense. It is a lot to do. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start studying. So first I'm going to start off by writing in my journal, and then we're going to finish our 100 card deck of Anki, and then move on to some farm and physio. So tired of studying. I literally passed out for 30 minutes doing Anki, and I feel so behind because I feel so tired, and these drugs aren't sticking in my head. Like, I don't know why. So I'm gonna watch some more Sketchy and see if that can help, but for some reason renal just doesn't stick in my brain. I don't know, maybe it's just not meant for me to be a nephrologist, you know? Wasn't even planning on going into urinology or anything anyways. I'm probably gonna switch over and watch some Sketchy, then watch some boards. And yeah, nothing is sticking, and I feel so tired. I'm definitely going to bed early tonight. I honestly don't even feel like making dinner. I'm probably just going to eat something from Bulldog because that's how tired I am. And I'm starting to get a headache. Probably because I'm dehydrated. I should probably drink some water. Got me some water. Yeah, I was very dehydrated. I feel a little bit better now. Time to switch over to Sketchy.
Welcome to the Nephron Fun Zone and Water Park.
It's officially dark out. It is almost 7 o'clock, so I'm gonna go ahead and make myself some dinner. We are having Bulldog spicy tteokbokki because I'm too tired to make dinner tonight. Okay, we made the tteokbokki and I've added some cheese. So excited. Have some Cheetos on the side. I know, completely healthy. And then we are going to be watching Grey's Anatomy. So excited. Typically, I would make a much more healthier dinner, but I'm so exhausted and tired. I'm just gonna stick with this. Probably have like a slice of cake because I still have some of my birthday cake left over. I'm gonna call that a dinner for today because some days you feel like making dinner, a full healthy meal, and others it's just this. So I'm gonna go ahead, enjoy, then we're gonna do some questions. Hey guys, so it is currently a little after 9, actually it's almost 9:30, and I'm just working on some questions because even though I never got to finish some of my studying for renal because I was supposed to complete the rest of the physio stuff, I have to move on. So according to my schedule, I'm gonna do my questions. So I think I'm just gonna complete my RX questions for now because I think I have about 30 questions left to do to complete for the night, and then I'm just gonna call it a night. I think I'll get started on New World questions tomorrow morning once I complete physio because it's just a lot and I feel really tired and drained from today. Also, I'm gonna put on some headphones because my neighbor is being a little bit loud and I really don't need this today. I'm gonna finish doing these questions. It's gonna be on biochem, clinical diagnosis, embryo, histo, immuno, and micro. We better get to move on with that, and then we are going to get ready to bed soon. Gosh, I can still hear them through my headphones. I gotta put on some music. And I'm not the type of person to confront someone when they're being really noisy, especially at like 9:30 at night. I have to put on some studying music because that is just way too loud. I can hear them screaming. I also made some tea. You guys know I always like to end my night with some tea. I made some green tea and I added some honey. So I definitely needed this for tonight. And you can see it's like steaming hot. So it is currently 11:18 and I just finished my first block of questions. I did about 33 questions and I got a 45%. Renal is probably like one of the topics that I struggle with. It's definitely one of my weaknesses, so I definitely need to work on renal. I think tomorrow I'm just gonna spend all day solely on renal, learning the physio, learning like the pathology and stuff, watching pathoma, and then I have to move on to endo. I also have to review MSK and heme as well because our cast is gonna be on those topics, and genetics. I feel like there's barely any time to review all of these. Like, it's a lot. So I definitely have to review some of the content. I kind of already listed all the things that I need to work on. So it is going to be a long day tomorrow. Basically a long week because prepping for this, it's a lot. And it doesn't help with the quizzes because I feel like without the quizzes, I could have gotten a lot more studying done. I think it is time to start getting ready for bed. Good evening, guys. Good evening. It's a little after 1:30. I basically took another shower, did my nighttime skincare routine. That's basically 3 showers in one day. I honestly don't mind because I love taking my showers. So I basically got into bed and then I started reading. I feel like it's now been a habit that I have been consistently reading before bed, minus when I have an actual like exam or quiz. And if you guys have watched my previous vlogs, you guys would know that I am a bookworm and I'm trying to consistently read a lot more books. And it's a little bit hard when you are a med student, so you really have to find the time to actually read a book. So I have been using my Kindle to read. Currently, I am reading Regretting You by Colleen Hoover, and honestly, I can say this probably isn't my favorite book by her. I read Reminders of You, and that book was amazing. I absolutely loved it. I finished that book so quickly, but this book, I'm kind of struggling to get through because I feel like it's very predictable. If you guys want to learn more, I will put a review on Goodreads. I will put my link down there. I'm always looking for new book suggestions, and I definitely have been in love with reading before bed. I feel like it just puts me to sleep and it kind of distresses like my mind and my anxiety from like studying 24/7, because especially with doing all these questions today and the quiz, it feels very overwhelming and I definitely need some sleep, but I also need to ease my mind as well, because if you are an anxious person, you know that sometimes when you try to go to bed early, your mind just races and 10,000 thoughts just jumble up into your brain and it prevents you from going to bed. So this helps to eliminate all of that and go to bed a whole lot more quickly, and I'm absolutely in love. And I feel like my Kindle is literally my new best friend. So with that being said, it's almost 2 o'clock, so I really need to get to bed and get my sleep so I can wake up early tomorrow morning to study again. So I hope you guys did enjoy this vlog. As always, if you guys love watching my channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, turn on your post notifications, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.